Two boys share a name, Samuel. They share a title, orphan. But their stories and the legacy they each will leave are uniquely theirs. It's been a decade since we met Samuel when he came to My Hugh Children's Home. He was 13 years old. In the year before coming to My Hugh Children's Home, he experienced such suffering and nearly lost hope. Samuel never knew his father and lost his mother to illness. After her passing, he, along with his siblings, were passed between relatives. They lived with their ailing grandmother, and as children were forced to find work to earn money to pay for her medicine and food for the family. They were still able to attend school most of the time. When his grandmother could no longer provide care, the siblings were split up. His twin brother Joseph went to My Hugh Children's Home, but Samuel was sent by his family to live with an aunt and an uncle. At just 12 years old, he felt that he had become a servant. He was expected to prepare food and take care of jobs around the house that were far beyond what a boy his age could handle. He recounts how he underwent many beatings and became so discouraged. He no longer even wanted to live. Samuel was incredibly bright. Despite not being in school every day, having very limited time to study, Samuel was able to achieve high enough marks to qualify for high school. But he had no hope of getting to attend. There was no way he could pay for school, nor would his family. Then he got the call. Because of his brother, the team at My Hugh Children's Home learned of the situation and offered him a spot at the home. In that moment, everything changed.
When I joined My Hugh, I found parents here. So the parents, they encouraged me both academically, spiritually, and emotionally. So I was able to grow, to interact with them as my parents. They encouraged me, they advised me where I was wrong, they usually corrected me. And that enabled me to build my future and be the person that I wanted to be.
Paul went for a visit without me in, I think, 2010, and called me and said, guess what? This is a big decision, and we usually make these decisions together, but we have a new son. And I said, huh? And that was incredible because we realized that Joseph, who we had sponsored, had a twin brother that had come and been made part of the home, and he was going to be part of our family.
What a difference a decade makes. A boy with no hope, who never thought to dream of a future, has seen his life transformed.
The first place where I started my work experience was at Kengen, that's Giordamo, where I worked as a technician. I later joined Nairobi Botras as a quality control technician, and currently I am at high school working as a both lab technician and a tutor.
Kids grow up, and so as we've gone back and forth, and then in this last January we got to see Samuel, who's now a grown man at age 24, a college graduate and a teacher. And to see him growing in God, growing in his faith, and growing as a professional in Kenya makes us very proud to be his sponsors, his parents, and to see him holding Mom's hand, telling her about what he's done and what he hopes to do for Christ and the kingdom, and as a teacher makes us very proud.
For Chariot for Hope, I wish to thank Paul and Dorothy. They are my mom and my dad for the far they have taken me. I know they sacrifice a lot for me to stay here, to continue with my education. I thank you. I'm lacking word to say thank you.
Around the same time Samuel was coming into My Hugh as a preteen, a boy who shares his name was just coming into the world.
Sammy came to us after the death of his mother. The mother was sick at night, and she was rushed to Litein Hospital. Reaching there, she was taken to the theater, and she was operated. But before the end of the operation, the mother died. And Sammy was left in Litein to stay in the hospital in the incubator because he was so tiny. And at the end of 1 month, somebody, a nurse from Litein Mission Hospital, called us. And then I went and then saw Sammy. And they wanted us to bring Sammy to Mogogoshek baby home. He was so active. And at the end of 1 year, he started talking even before the others. So he could speak nicely. And we could see that he was very clever. So when he started walking, he was very clever, and he was all the time smiling and clapping his hand when others are singing choruses. And he was very happy.
Sammy's first few years were full of joy. He only knew love. Priscilla and other staff members cared for Sammy as if he was their own son. He never had to know what it was like to go hungry or to feel unsafe when he went to sleep. He just got to be a child.
He continued growing nicely and going to school when he was 3.5, almost 4. He went to the baby class, and he was very happy to be there. And he was an active boy. All the time he runs around, and then was able to direct the others like a prefect did. So he was very good with whatever he was doing, even in school. And we wanted him to just grow nicely and be able to be a leader one day.
Sammy was growing up. He had no family members that could take him in, and at that point, adoptions in Kenya were rare. Without our homes, who knows what would have happened to him? Once he grew too big for the baby home, Sammy transitioned to one of our children's homes. In 2018, Sammy moved to our Kaptagat Children's Home with several other children who had grown up in Magogosiek Baby Home. He quickly adapted to the home, expanding his family of people who love and care for him.
Sammy was brought to Kaptagat Children's Home from Magogosiek Children's Home last year, and he came with a number of children. But interesting enough is that Sammy, you could identify Sammy when he was brought up here, because he was a jovial boy. He's swift, especially in talking, and in fact he is the one who introduced other children. For the last 2 years, we have seen Sammy growing, especially in terms of character-wise and in terms of education. When he was brought here, it was his first time to interact with big boys or big girls, because that's where he was coming from. He was in a baby home, but here is a children's home. And it is very interesting that Sammy, when he came here, he was able to interact immediately with other young boys. Sammy is a boy who is very sharp, especially in memories. He can memorize the whole chapter, imagine.
He's someone who is so active in almost everything that he does. He is so happy all the time. I believe Sammy will become a big person. From his qualities, tells me that in future he can make a good man and he can be a good leader.
Because when I grow up and I get a good job, I will help other children who don't have parents like me now, the way they help me.
Sammy holds a special place in the hearts of everyone at Magogosiek Baby Home. Since he has no family or guardians, he comes back to Magogosiek on holiday breaks and stays with Priscilla and her family. He is truly a member of their family. Sammy has so much ahead of him. He's just 12 years old, still learning, growing, and developing into the man he will become. What legacy will he leave at the home and in his community? The possibilities are endless.
And we really pray that God is going to help him to be able to continue with school, and one day he's going to be a good leader, even in our area. And he was nothing, and he's going to be somebody one day, and we are sure that God is going to help him.
Sammy represents just one of the 834 children growing up in our homes. Like Sammy, some have been with us since Chariots began a decade ago. Others were just rescued out of horrific situations in the last month. You have the chance to leave a legacy today in their lives. What greater legacy is there to leave than one of hope? Legacies are not just accomplished by the greatest of inventors or those with unimaginable wealth. By investing in children like Sammy, you're leaving a legacy that will help change individuals, communities, and one day, the nation of Kenya.
Forever I will serve the Lord, for his promise and I will say amen. Forever, forever I will serve the Lord, for his promise and I will say amen.